wanted to share this story about something that just happened to me last night for the first time. Uh, as long as I've been a gun owner, this is the first time this has happened. I expected it was going to happen at some point, but I got pulled over for speeding while I was on my way home. So I just wanted to share what happened to me, an actual story. If it helps you, great. But I just wanted to share this with you. So I'm was in Delaware. I live in Pennsylvania. I was in Delaware, way south of Delaware, coming home from Seaford, Delaware. I was at a partner's class. I was working in my capacity as a USCCA account exec, United States Concealed Carry Association. I was in in that class presenting memberships, getting people to sign up for memberships. So I'm driving home, and I notice that there are at least two squad cars that have people pulled on the side of the road, right? So I'm thinking, man, they really got the cops out tonight. They must be low on revenue or something because they are pulling people over. So I'm doing 60, and I come to a speed sign or whatever you call it, speed stop, a road sign that has the speed limit posted, and it says 45. And as soon as I start to move my foot over to slow down slightly, I see the lights in the rearview mirror. So I pull over to the side. Cop pulls over, squad car pulls over. Guy comes out, comes to the passenger side. Now, mind you, we're on a highway, like a 4-lane highway. We'll call it like a interstate, okay? I don't know, like a 4-lane road. Let's just leave it at that. So there are cars whizzing by him, okay? So I roll down my window, and he says, "Sir, I pulled you over because you were doing 62 and a 45." Typically, they say, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" Because they want you to either admit why, or you just say, "I don't know," if you don't want to admit anything, right? He just told me flat out, "You were doing 62 and a 45. Can I see your license and your registration?" He didn't ask me for my insurance, which I thought was strange. I said, "Yes, sir. But I want to tell you that I have a concealed carry permit." He said, "Is it in the car with you right now?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Where is it?" Now, here's the thing. The day before, I had taken two pistol carbines that I have, two 9mm pistol caliber carbines, to have them upgraded or modded out. And they were in a backpack on the passenger side, the floor of the passenger side. So I had my hands at the 10 and 2, and I just went like, uh, "They're in that backpack right there, officer." He said, "Are they loaded?" I said, "No." And then I said, "Oh, and I'm also carrying on my waist, on my hip." He said, "Now, I assume because the two pistol carbines, I didn't say they were carbines or anything. I didn't say anything like that. I didn't tell him what they were. But I assume since he saw them in the backpack, or since he saw the backpack sitting on the floor out of my reach, he felt safe with those two firearms. But when I told him that I was carrying on my hip, and by the way, I never used the word gun, firearm, or pistol. I never use any of those words because I see them as trigger words. I tell my students not to use those words if you can avoid it. So I said, "I'm carrying on my hip." He asked me, "Is that gun loaded, sir?" I said, "Yes, it is." He said, "Would you please remove that gun from your holster and place it on the dash?" Now, I told a friend of mine this when I got home, and he yelled at me, "You didn't do it, did you? You're not supposed to touch your gun. If an officer tells you to touch your gun, you don't reach for your gun, blah, 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 blah." I get it. But even as an instructor, I do tell students, listen, you have to evaluate the situation in the real world as opposed to what I'm telling you in this classroom. What I'm telling you in this classroom is a guide. But if the situation is different when you're out in the street or out and about, you have to roll with it. You have to do what your instincts tell you. Now, if that officer had told me, "Will you please hand me the gun?" I would have said, "Well, officer, I'm uncomfortable handing you my weapon for your safety and my safety. I'm willing to exit the vehicle. And if you want to relieve me of the firearm yourself, I am happy to comply. He didn't ask me that, so I felt comfortable slowly reaching for the firearm. As I drew it out of the holster, I made sure to point the muzzle up so that now it's pointing at the window on the passenger side. And I swung it, I tilted it down and brought it up and pointed the muzzle towards the front windshield and placed it on the dashboard. Okay. He then said, "All right, I'm going to reach inside and take the firearm, and I'm going to get rid of the round in the chamber." So he takes it out. I kind of moved my left leg over just in case he didn't have this muzzle discipline, but he was fine. He did not sweep me, and he racked the chamber, racked the slide. The round popped out, flew across the car, and hit the passenger side window and fell into the deep morass of all the junk that's sitting on the floor of my passenger side on the passenger side of my car. He said, "Sir, I'm sorry that I lost that round for you." And I jokingly said, "Listen, don't worry about it. This car is so filthy, you just gave me a reason to clean it so I could find it." And we both laughed at that. All right. So at this point, I'm feeling comfortable. I hand him my license. I hand him the registration. And I also handed him my Utah permit, because Utah allows, I have to have that permit to carry in Delaware. Utah and Delaware have reciprocity. So then I told him, by the way, officer, I am a certified USCCA and NRA instructor. These are my USCCA credentials. I handed him my USCCA instructor card. He said, "Oh, you're a firearms instructor?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Okay, nice." He said, and then I said, "Officer, I'm just going to ask, did you drop the magazine?" And what I meant by that was I wanted to make sure that when he released the slide after he expelled that round, that he had dropped the magazine, which was full. And so when he in releasing the slide, if the magazine had stayed in the grip, it would have put another round into the chamber. So I asked him, "Sir, did you drop the slide or drop the mag?" He said, "Yes, sir, I did." All right. So he said, "Now, sir, I'm going to keep this with me for my protection. I'm going to go back to my car and make up a report." I said, "Okay, I get it, sir. That's fine." I sat there for maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. The guy came back. He said, "Sir, here's your firearm." Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't remember if he put the magazine back into the grip. I just took the gun and put it into the holster, the car holster that sits alongside the console. I didn't put it back in my holster. I put it, and I don't remember. It's still sitting there, so I got to go check and see if the magazine is in there. He handed me the ticket. He explained the ticket. I was like, "Hey, I get it, man. You caught me. I should have been speeding." He gave it to me. He said it was $150. Okay. I put it down. He then said, "Sir, I want to thank you for being honest with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day." And I was like, "Thank you, sir. This is what I trained for. I appreciate it. Thank you." And then I drove off and I was on my way. So I wanted to share that story just to say that, you know, we know what we know about cops today, okay? And it's clear I'm an African American male. But, and it could have gone a totally different way for me. Thank God I had a cop who was level headed. I was scanning him. I never saw his hand go for his firearm, okay? So what I want to say is that, putting all the political or social issues aside, as a general rule, I'd like to think that my politeness, my not being indignant, and understanding that I was in the wrong, and most importantly, my not making any sudden movements is what gave the officer confidence that he didn't have to worry about me. And as such, I was able to drop my guard with him. So that's how I handled the police stop. I'm sure there are people out there that would have handled it a lot differently. There's tons of permutations about. I can see people saying, "No, you did that wrong. You did that wrong." All I know is I got the respect of an officer. The officer thanked me and respected me. I didn't get shot. I didn't get injured, and I drove home to my family. That's all I know. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. Take from that what you will. Um, if you get stopped by an officer, hopefully everything will work out for you as well. But we are, as long as we're safe, legal, and responsible, everything should work out fine. Hopefully everything will work out fine. All right. And also, hopefully you have a cop that's not having a bad day. Okay. All right, everyone. I welcome your comments. Let me know what you think. Also, if you are interested in a membership with the United States Concealed Carry Association, you can contact me with the information below the video. And I'm happy to explain to you all the benefits that you will receive with the USCCA membership. Plus, if you are in the area, in the Pennsylvania, Delaware area, and you'd like to take a basic pistol class, a defensive shooting class, a women's only handgun class, look me up, give me a call. I'm happy to help you. All right. Thanks everyone from First Level Firearms. Take care.